can count on the fingers of one hand how many times it gets foggy here in Perth. It's quite a rare occurrence. But this morning I woke up and they said on the radio that there was a fairly thick blanket of fog right across most of the metropolitan area. So as quick as I could, I grabbed my camera, one or two lenses and my tripod, and headed out to a pine forest that's very, very close to home, to see if I can grab an image, find a composition that's interesting. With not getting too much fog in Perth, I don't have a lot of experience in shooting in fog, so I always grab the opportunity when it comes around. So it'll be a bit of trial and error here. But what I've seen so far of the woods, it's going to be very interesting. I'm excited by this. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for me. I can't wait. Let's get cracking. One of the advantages of shooting in fog is that it simplifies your scene for you. In most scenes, in most bush and forests, in Australia at least, it can get quite messy. The background can get quite messy. It's quite difficult to get a simple image. But the fog provides a blanket across your background that really simplifies the mess that the background often creates and the distraction, and isolates your subject, makes your image a simpler image. That's why a lot of people enjoy shooting in fog and looking at images that have been shot in the mist. I've just got to find myself a subject. It's incredible how quickly this fog is lifting. Just in 10 minutes it's shifted so quickly. But I've managed to find a very simple little composition that I'm just going to walk you through. These pine forests, not a natural occurrence, they were planted decades ago. And so the pines are actually in rows, and I'm using the rows of pine trees as a bit of a leading line or a bit of a point of interest on one side of my image. The other side of the image is a collection of sticks that someone has put up against to make a little tent or teepee or little shelter. So I'm using that on the left hand side of my image on the 1/3 line, and the row of pine trees on the right hand side to kind of guide the viewer's eye through the image. I'm using quite a shallow depth of field because the fog is covering most of what's in the background anyway. I don't need that in focus. What's really important is I have the foreground in focus. So I'm focusing on the shelter on the left hand side. I have an f-stop of 3.5 and my shutter speed is 1/160, iOS 100. Let's take that shot. So I found another composition, not entirely convinced by it, but we're going to give it a go anyway. I've isolated one tree here in this forest of pine trees in front of me, and it's bang in the center to try and really make a focus of it. The rest of the trees are starting to fade away into the mist, which is quite nice, and they won't be in focus anyway. My f-stop, it's 5.6. My shutter speed is 1/40th of a second, still on ISO 100. but my focal length is 24, so I'm reasonably wide. I'm using the 24-70 lens. So let's take this shot and see what it looks like. Alright, I'm trying something now a little bit different. So I found this tree that is kind of in the middle of this forested area, which is on its own because the trees around it have fallen down, and it's looking pretty tight itself. Most of the branches have fallen off. There's a little bit of green on the top, but that's actually not going to be in my shot. So I'm still with the 24-70, but I'm at the 70 end of things, so I'm compressing that subject against the background, and that's what I want. I want that contrast between the two subjects, well, the subject and the background, to really pop and stand out to the viewer of the image. So I'm at f5 and my shutter speed's at 200th of a second, still on ISO 100. And I've changed the orientation of the camera to be in portrait mode, even though later on I may actually change and crop the image to be a square crop. I'm still in two minds about that. Anyway, the light is really nice, so I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to take this image. The other advantage, of course, of fog is it disperses the light, so you've got a softer light to work with, which is always nice than the harsh light that we've been experiencing in summer. So I've come down to the other side of the lake from where the pine woods were, because I knew there was this tree here that it's just a lone pine tree on its own. I've come up the hill to get a better vantage point on the tree. So I'm zooming right in on it, so I'm at 70mm, because I'm trying to isolate it against all the other things that are happening in this area. And look, it's not going to be too bad. To be honest, I think I've actually got a little bit too much fog. It's incredible how long this fog is hanging around for. Like, normally fog lasts for 10-15 minutes in Perth and it's gone, but you know, we're a good hour and a half into this, and it's you know, it's still very, very thick in areas, and here not only is it kind of isolating or blocking out the background, but to some extent it's actually blocking out the foreground as well. I'm on f8, sharpest point for this lens, 1/250 for shutter speed, and of course ISO 100 at 70mm. So let's grab the cable shutter and take this shot. I think I've got all I can out of the fog for today. With a bit of luck, might be back tomorrow. Who knows? Certainly been a lot of fun. Different experience for me. As I said, we don't get a lot of fog here, so the opportunity to shoot in the fog has been good. I've enjoyed it. Beautiful light and a sensational morning. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and tell us your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this sort of content, then consider subscribing and make sure you register for notifications so you're notified when I upload my next video. Also, if you're on Instagram, then head on over to my account, Andrew Marr, where I share what I've been up to and other photos that I've taken. I'd love to see you there. Until next time, thanks for watching.